All right, Bannock County Commissioners are now in session. And I'm going to change the agenda a little bit, and I'm going to have Julie come up first.
Thank you for doing this. Julie Hancock, Bannock County's Elections Administrator. Here to talk about a media blitz for getting people to register to vote prior to Election Day. To save lines, and now that we've got these electronic poll books, the individual has to fill out the voter registration card, then our poll workers have to enter that card into the electronic poll book, so it takes a little bit of time. Repetitive, they'll get better at it. Right now, they're still so new that it's taken them some time, and we're afraid that with it being a presidential, that lines are going to get pretty long. And so we're trying to get, if we could get as many people that want to register to vote or need to change their address or do a name change, and then if they register online, they're flagged for residency and proof of ID. So they have to prove all of that prior to, or at a polls on Election Day, or come into our office and we can take the flags off. If we could have as much of that done prior to Election Day, I think would save a little bit on our stress of there. So this is just the show band right now. Emma's putting together we've set aside a little bit out of our budget to do like some PSAs on the radio, TV, and in the journal also.
So this is a digital ad, it says here.
Yeah, most of them are digital.
And so you have to just go on to the show band news on the computer and bring it up.
Yeah.
And then this will be an advertisement that'll come up. How often will it show? I mean, it's got the dates here.
Yeah, just through those dates.
And how many times a day or whatever?
Or I think it just stays on there.
Oh.
If it's scrolling with other ads, it'll just scroll right along with whatever else is on there.
Okay.
I'm not super familiar with how that kind of advertising works. Kind of not in my wheelhouse, but Emma's not well today.
Okay. It says it's going to run weekly, $270.
That's the total cost, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For 8/4 through 9/28.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Questions, comments?
I defer to John, this is kind of his area of expertise, the online advertising with newspaper world, so.
Yeah, it'll just sit on there, I assume. I mean, I haven't really looked at their website, but if it's anything like the ones that I'm familiar with, it'll just sit up there.
Yeah, I just pulled it up and I see they've got a
People see
column
it.
on the right-hand
Yeah.
side with all that stuff.
Yep, exactly.
Yay, nay? Matter?
You got the budget for it?
I do.
Okay, well, then, Mr. Chair, I'd move that we approve this ad spend as presented.
We have a motion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. I think once Emma gets some other, you'll be seeing a few other ones that'll be digital for radio and, yeah. So, does that have to stay in the packet? I'm not really sure where that goes from here.
Drop by Christie and she'll
Krista will give you a copy.
let you know.
Okay.
It'll get me off the hook and let what's going on.
Pass it down the chain, right? Okay, thank you, appreciate it.
You bet. Todd?
Good morning. Todd Mauger with Bannock County Juvenile Justice. I'm here today regarding the 2024 Restorative Justice Grant application from the Idaho Department of Juvenile Corrections that I got approval to write a couple weeks ago. I'm here today looking for a signature and approval to submit. I'll be requesting $28,502.84. These funds will be used first off to do initial training. I'm a trainer of restorative practices, circles, and restorative conferencing, and that will provide books for me to do initial training of up to 30 individuals in our community, some of our stakeholders as well, schools. American Falls School District is really on board with this, with their rural replication of the satellite safety and assessment center they're working on. But I would train, 30 individuals, and then what we would do, right now I'm currently the only trainer for Bannock County Juvenile Justice, which makes it a little difficult for me to do the training. They're 4 days. But to keep our staff, as we have turnover, trained. And so what we would do is we're requesting that the IIRP, they're the organization that's developed the training, would come to Bannock County on 2 different occasions and provide a trainer of trainers for 10 people. And so my hope is that that would get more Bannock County juvenile justice employees trained, as well as some stakeholders in the community, and have the program rooted a little deeper than just me trying to train the whole community.
When you say stakeholders in the community, who is that?
So, school district, American Falls School District is on board. There's some Safety and Assessment Center in Bonneville County that's willing to send some people. We'd reach out to all the District 6 probation offices as well.
But these are government people.
Yeah,
These are all government.
well, and we would open it up if local counseling providers wanted to come. But we would want individuals that are rooted in the community and going to be here a while. Part of the training is that they would have to do the initial training, and there's prerequisites. They have to practice and become experienced in the restorative practices field, and kind of check the boxes. We wouldn't just invite a trainer that hasn't been practicing. Does that make sense? So they'd have to have experience.
You got 10 people that you're looking to get trained?
As trainers. So we'll do an initial 30, which is a prerequisite to become a trainer.
Yep.
Then they would go back, they would implement the practices in their field, and then we would invite 10 back that are going to carry on training and building the restorative practices to become trainers.
Okay.
Further questions? Motion?
Mr. Chair, I'd move that we approve the restorative justice grant application as requested.
We have a motion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
I'd even invite the commissioners if you wanted to come through the initial training. So,
Let us know when that is.
okay. Well,
You want this now?
yeah, it's kind of due tomorrow. I'd like to get it today,
Kinda
just
do
in
or
case.
really do?
What's that?
Kinda do or really do?
I really do. So I appreciate it. Thank you.
You bet, thank you. All right.
Elise Foster, subdivision planner. Ellis Estates has submitted their final plat and proposed a bond agreement. They have a performance bond that they are requesting to be signed in order to complete the irrigation that will be dispersed to every lot. They cannot install it at this time based on water heights in the canal, is what he had disclosed to me. So the bond amount will be $54,144.20. He does have final plat that he is requesting to be signed as well today. It's a 6-lot subdivision with open space within each lot. His roads are completed and have been passed out by Road and Bridge. Everything else has been completed in the subdivision.
Okay. Questions? First on the bond?
So, just so I'm clear, they're taking water out of the canal and piping that to each of the lots?
They do have water rights, so he
Right.
is dispersing that throughout each lot so that each lot is over an acre. So he's trying to give them a way to pasture water.
Okay. And so this is just for the piping from there to each of the individual lots?
Correct.
Okay. That was my only question.
Question? Motion on the bond?
Mr. Chair, I'd move that we approve the bond for Ellis Construction, is it Ellis Construction?
Ellis Estates.
Or Ellis Estates, excuse me, in the amount of $54,144.20 as presented.
We have a motion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, and then a motion on the plat?
Mr. Chair, I'd move that we approve the plat for Ellis Estates as presented and authorized signature.
We have a motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Release the right one.
Whatever the FEMA is associated with ICC. Yeah, that'll be touched.
Mine's not working very good. So. Yep, all you sure is next time.
You need to touch that in there for a second.
That's okay. Ish.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Jason.
Christie?
Christie Plaza Comptroller, the first item I have for the board is signature on a copier for veteran services. We talked about this a little bit during budget. It's only $3,084, and my proposal is to pay for that out of county operations. That will get her a copier and get her fully functioning sooner than later.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the copier purchase as presented.
Have a motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Next item I have for the board is just a review of budget to actual expenditures and revenue for period ending 6/30 of '24. If you have specific questions, I can answer those. Otherwise, revenues are coming in. We have basically excess sales tax is coming in extremely strong, which is helping out our projected revenues. That is not money that we tend to count on year to year to year, just simply because it's too economic based. But it will probably put us in a situation of unanticipated revenues. So if we have a department that's struggling, we could potentially open the budget and use those dollars if needed. Specific departments, Bannock County events, their revenue is low right now, but that's because we're just getting into season. So that's about par. The Juvenile Workshop Trust, that revenue probably will not make revenue, but that's just simply because there was a revenue change that the department didn't make me aware of. So that money's not going to come in. Waterways, it's a little bit low, but that could be seasonal. We're just now getting aware more boats are being registered, so that could bring that money in a little bit higher. As far as expenditures go, we should be at 75% spent. IT is at 92.7. That's basically because their software support, those big chunk monies have been paid, so that's going to throw them a little higher than the normal percentage. Ambulance is at 82.6%, but that's because we've paid 10 contract payments. We'll only make one more payment and then wait for the end of the year to settle that out. Fair maintenance is at 9.2%. That one seems low to me just simply because they should be doing maintenance year round and not waiting for seasonal. They've really not really spent their budget over the last few years. So
Okay.
that's something we probably need to work with them on.
That'd be a good discussion to have.
Fair exhibits at 15.1%. That's seasonally starting right now, so we didn't have a lot of those payments come in until July. Noxious weed is only at 12.5%. Again, their season isn't starting until about right now, although I would expect them to be a little bit higher because mosquito is higher. And they should have been doing mowing and some other things like that, so.
And we just like last month, we spent quite a bit on their sprays and stuff.
And that's probably hitting in July instead of June.
Yeah.
Snowmobiles at 96.9%, that's another seasonal. They're basically done spending money except for utilities. So we'll just watch that, make sure they fall within. If their utilities get a little bit higher, they've got plenty of A budget and benefits that we could move down if we need to. Waterways, no money's been spent. We need to get on that.
We have an idea, but yes.
We need to make that idea action as soon as possible.
Some of us have been very busy.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm right there with you.
Well, I was talking about you.
Juvenile detention is at 82.4%. That's a little bit high, so we'll just watch that. I think they had some projects that they did, which might have thrown that a little
Some
bit over.
repairs?
Huh?
Some repairs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a carpet or something like
Yeah,
that was done.
they did some carpet.
So I think
Yeah.
that's probably what's thrown them a little bit high. Other than that, operational wise, I'm still watching indigent and the public defense grant, hoping we'll have some extra money in there so that we can pay out those employees on September 30. We might need to dip into contingency, but I'll just watch that. We are getting down to the wire where I'll be watching expenditures on a monthly basis so that we can see who we need to open the budget for, because if we need to open the budget or move any monies, we usually try to do that the first part of September in anticipation for the year. I'm hoping we're not going to have to do that. On a minor side note, I wish I was going to update on ARPA. Kyle called me yesterday and let me know that the truck that they ordered, the 2 road and bridge trucks, may not come in until after fiscal year ends. That's an ARPA project. I did add $750,000 to grants for FY25 in anticipation that those may not come in, but those will be covered through reserves. So that was a last minute budget adjustment. That was okay, but it's within the grants, so that just is it just in case. So monies won't be spent if it comes in this year.
Okay, well, that's good to know.
So, any questions?
Nope.
Nope. Appreciate it.
All right, well, Matthew, welcome.
Hello, Matthew Phillips, HR and Risk Management Director. Item I have before the board, and Ernie, you're probably aware of this where you're on the Gen Plan board, but Mutual Insurance, who is our brokerage, they're recommending amending our health plan document for the next upcoming health plan year, which starts on October 1st, to include some more vaccinations at no cost to employees. Currently, we cover pertussis, diphtheria, influenza, hepatitis B, measles, mumps, pneumonia, polio, rotavirus, rubella, tetanus, and chickenpox. These are what was on our grandfathered plan. They're recommending, and most counties in the Gen Planning, from my understanding, are increasing to the higher Affordable Care Act standard, where they're also adding in hepatitis A, meningococcal human papillomavirus, which is HPV, or zoster, which is shingles vaccine. So they're basically recommending adding those to the Gen Plan for the upcoming year. Their estimated plan cost for those additional vaccines, and this is just an estimate because it can change based on enrollment or who actually takes advantage of them, was just $4,300 per year. For particularly meningitis or HPV, that I think is a small investment. And I included in here, you know, the HPV can often cause cervical and other type-related cancers. The cost for cervical cancer treatment ranges from anywhere from $60,000 to $90,000. So if it prevents one, HPV case of progressing to cancer, or meningitis can often escalate to an ICU type treatment, which can also be very expensive for the plan. So for those reasons, I agree with Mutual Insurance that we should add them to the plan, even for the smaller costs that it is operationally. If it prevents some of those larger, more catastrophic cases from happening with our plan participants, I think it makes financial sense, and I think it makes sense to employees as well. So, and any questions if you have them?
Like I say, I sit on that board. We had a pretty good discussion about this. All the other counties have been pushing to get this,
Okay.
especially with shingles and stuff. I mean, that's one that time lost at work.
Absolutely,
is a
absolutely.
big concern and stuff, so. Any questions on it?
No.
Motion?
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the request as presented.
We have a motion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
But it'd be good to let our people know, we did talk to Christie about allowing some of these vaccines during the health fair.
Yeah, as far as the health fair in October, I think we've always had MOG come and do the flu. I also just asked her if we wanted to consider maybe pneumonia, because that's, one that is pretty common during winter months, and, it goes back to, are we trying to keep people productive and not missing work during the winter? But that's a separate issue.
And a lot of these are one-time vaccines, they're not.
Yes, I don't know if we need to do all of these at the health fair.
Well, what we told her was actually to send out a notice
Mm-hmm,
to the employees, and they could let us know.
okay,
And then MOG could be prepared. I don't want MOG to have everything there,
yeah,
but if people are willing to set it up
I can do that.
in a certain way, I mean, if you're getting a vaccine, you might as well get a vaccine.
We can do that. As far as announcing this amendment, usually best practice is to announce 60 days before the amendment takes place. So I'll announce this to the employees this week, just so they're aware that coming in October, we'll be covering more of these vaccinations. And then I can also, at that time, ask them if they have interest in more coming to the health fair, more vaccinations, to let us know.
That'd be good.
I also need to check with MOG to make sure they can handle that and support that, but absolutely, we can make that notification and communication with employees
And
happen.
Christie appreciated the help and the work.
Yeah.
Work together, so.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which for new fiscal year, I believe Lady usually puts together plan benefit documents that will also highlight this change that should go out to all the employees. So
Yeah,
she'll be
well,
working with you on that.
Yeah, or probably Tim. I don't,
Lady will send it to you.
okay. When I ask Leedy for plan document stuff, she just refers me to Tim, so,
It's benefit information, so not plan
Yeah.
documents, but she has a summary of all the benefits, so she'll just include this.
yeah, well,
That's a good reminder for employees to know.
yeah, we'll have we're planning on having benefit open enrollment sessions for the employees during September, and we'll have what are called SBCs, summary of benefit and coverage, that they'll provide for us, and we'll make available to employees, so,
Okay, thank you.
thank you.
Thank you. Next on the agenda, we have a request from the sheriff's office. We have an officer that is retiring. And so the authority to have their gun and their badge. But I asked Christie about the other officer that's retiring this week. We haven't heard anything, but I don't know if he has a gun or not. So,
No, that's a booking officer.
okay.
I don't believe they carry, because they're
Okay.
not post-certified.
When I read this, I was just curious because we had the other one. But any questions about this?
Nope, pretty simple. Mr. Chair, I'd move that we approve the, providing the gun to the retiring officer as presented and requested.
We have a motion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. Next we have, this one, I wasn't quite positive. Compass Group. And records of Compass Group USA indicates that an AP check may be owed to you.
We received that in the mail, and they're just saying that they have an outstanding check that belongs to us. And so basically it's unclaimed property that we are going to claim. I didn't know who should sign it. It would either be the commission or Jason. So I just asked Christie, and she included it on the agenda. Basically, we'll give that to us, and we'll get $300.
Okay?
Mr. Chair, I move to authorize signature.
Sign it up.
You betcha.
We have a motion, all in favor say aye.
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 See, revenue's coming in higher than expected already.
$300 is gonna put us over.
Hey, I'm just saying, looking for revenue wherever we can find it.
Every little bit helps.
All right, under the consent agenda, we have a certificate of residency. We also have an alcohol license. Connor, I thought that said corner first. And then we have salary rate approval forms.
Mr. Chair, I'd move that we approve the consent agenda as presented.
We have a motion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
And with that being said, we'll be at recess until 10:45. We have a bid opening for the security cameras.